Welcome back guys to another one. Today we have another epic cooler from Noctua, the D15S, but once more it has been upgraded to the new sexy chromaxblack treatment. Gradually I think and hope that we will have all of the current Noctua products in the juicy and sexy chromaxblack treatment. Today the D15S takes its turn to feature this all-black upgrade. It's a very interesting cooler because of its asymmetrical dual tower 140mm heatsink design that is just a bit smaller than the D15 but offers way better RAM, case and PCI compatibility. It's 5mm shorter than the D15, sitting at 160mm in height. This should ensure it will fit most tower cases. And then that 65mm RAM clearance is an absolute joy. It charges the usual $10 extra for the new paint job over the stock model. As we all know by now, all of the new chromaxblack coolers from Noctua will have this all-black livery combined with the classic light brown accents on the boxes. Noctua masters the art of presentation and packaging with their products. All of the sides of the box cover the main overall product description, the full specs regarding the heatsink fan and the included accessories, and as you can see they're a joy to explore and basically read. Inside you get two boxes, both surrounded by foam for maximum protection. One box is for the heatsink with a fan pre-installed, while the other contains all of the accessories. It's worth mentioning that you get an extra black wire clip set if you wish to install a second fan. As you see it weighs 1150 grams with a fan attached, and it stands tall at 160mm, 150mm wide and 153 in depth. We have 6 nickel-plated copper heat pipes at 6mm thick that hold into place 45 aluminum fins. The last 7 fins from the base have been trimmed in order to offer that epic 65mm RAM clearance. The base plate is also made from nickel-plated copper and has a minor polish to it. As a top view, we have the minimal Noctua branding in the top plates, and both towers have the fins in a concave pattern. As you'd expect, the new chromaxblack treatment looks absolutely stunning in this matte finish. Now the supplied NF-A15 HSPWM chromaxblack fan, which has the patented SSO2 bearings technology. I described this in depth in the previous Noctua review, so have a look there please. But in short, the rotor axis is stabilized by the magnetic field, which offers astonishing higher precision and better longevity than any conventional bearing system. They are rated up to 1500 RPM, feature 120mm mounting holes with removable rubber pads. Noctua also offers different colors for these, and they are rated over 150,000 hours of non-stop usage. That's over 17 years guys. Right, now let's install it. I prefer to do my CPU cooling tests on my secondary system, which has an ITX board as well as my Dan A4 SFX build, to fully test any clearance issues, since we know that an ITX format has all of the components crammed more together than the larger motherboard formats. Then the new D15S chromaxblack promotes the idea of excellent compatibility even in micro and ITX boards, so this will be a match made in heaven. Noctua's Secure Firm 2 mounting platform is also present, and from previous experiences this is one of the easiest and most straightforward installation sequences ever, especially on the AM4 socket. The first step is to remove the stock motherboard side brackets while maintaining the stock AMD motherboard backplate. Then attach the AM4 grey plastic spacers, bolt down the securing metal brackets while making sure they are facing inwards the socket area, and then apply the thermal paste. Then attach the D15S heatsink without the fan, since you need to access the securing bolts. Now let's check for any clearance issues. Despite my testing GPU has a really thick backplate, the D15S has no problem whatsoever. This memory kit from Team Groot is 49mm tall, which is a far cry from the 65mm that the D15 offers, so we have another clear win as well. Even with the fan installed, which will be flush with the heat pipes anyway, there are no issues regarding the height. The CPU in question is my first Ryzen chip, the 1700, which I will overclock to 3.7 GHz for 1.325 volts. I will leave the CPU fan on the standard Oro RPM curve to simulate real-life usage patterns, and then the side panel is now attached, while the front case fans are set at a fixed 30% RPM. Let's start with a sound check in ADA64 stress test. Noise level tests are an easy one to analyze, after all we are talking about Noctua. Since it uses the same fan as we saw in the previous video on the U14S, well, we get virtually the same results. In both Cinebench R15 and R20, it's curious to see how well the D15S keeps up with the regular D15, only 2 to 3 degrees behind it, and even more interesting, it's virtually equal to the U14S. Then ADA64 reconfirms this pattern as well, with the extra mention that for a while I noticed that the R20 proves to be more demanding in loads than ADA64 in an overclock scenario, while the ADA64 has higher figures with the CPU in stock form. Rise of the Tomb Raider shows that there is nothing to worry about in a gaming scenario. When I will update my GPU on this computer, I will try even newer titles. Well, conclusion time. This is another home run for Noctua, since the D15S chromaxblack is such a usable dual tower heatsink. It virtually eliminates the clearance worries with the regular D15 due to its clever asymmetrical design. This fact alone will make potential new buyers focus more on the D15S, let alone being cheaper at the cost, of course, of the second fan. The rest is epic as usual. Even with a single fan it manages to cool our testing CPU in full overclock load without going over 73 degrees C in any test. Low noise output and the 6 years warranty are now an industry standard with Noctua. The new chromaxblack treatment looks absolutely stunning on any cooler they produce, and the D15S is no exception. Yes, it might be a bit pricey, but at this quality, top tier levels you get exactly what you pay for. Thank you for the support so far guys, and see you in the next one. Alex out.